According to a long-running Harvard study, children who regularly do chores at home tend to have higher levels of success later in life,
including better grades, stronger work ethic, and greater empathy, demonstrating a positive correlation between household responsibility and academic achievement.
Essentially, the more chores a child does, the more likely they are to perform well academically. Hi there, welcome to the Good Morning Africa show. It's a brand new week. Our focus is kids, chores, and future success. I am Maimuna Bagudu. On the show with me is Obong. Glad to have you join us.
Thank you.
How are you and how's your weekend?
I had a good weekend. We had time to refresh, think about life, and just get going.
What is it about thinking about life?
Lots of things you have to think about. Many thanks, Maimuna. I am delighted to be on the show. Good morning. It's Obong Osoro. We have 1 hour to inform, educate, and entertain you. I trust you will stay with us.
Now, lined up for your viewing are features and interesting content spaced in segments from the first housing TV in Nigeria, Housing TV Africa, your first in housing news. Now, back to our focus. A Harvard study shows giving kids chores at a young age increases professional success by giving them a vision for what needs to be done. I could not agree more. Growing up, my mom would ensure that we do basic house chores, and trust me, that is very, very important, and it kind of helped me. And I know every adult there would agree with me that for them to have a good sense of responsibility, it starts from, when you're little. I remember back then, we're music lovers in my house. So music is like the #1 thing we use in doing everything in the house. So when it's Saturday, we're all cleaning the house, we're listening to music, we're having fun. That really gave me a sense of responsibility to know that, hey, as an adult, you should take responsibility of, most things. And it started from growing up. I know you would agree with me.
Yes, but the truth is that while I was growing up, I didn't really like chores.
I think we all,
like
we all.
I hated Saturdays. I prefer
did.
to stay in school till maybe 4 or 5. We used to come home quite late. So when you're back, you're tired already, you go see some cartoons and all of that, you just rest. But Saturdays, mom will call, everybody get up, today we are doing chores. So I didn't like chores as a child, but I think that the more you grow, the more you get to understand how it impacts your life.
Yeah.
It helps you to be organized,
Yeah.
it helps you to be able to get to do things and achieve a lot in life.
And that's where the sense of responsibility comes
sense
in.
of responsibility.
So we'll explore this topic with the help of an expert and a parent.
Hello and good morning. You're welcome to the I Can Make It segment. Now, I just want to walk you through a story that really touches my heart. A man named Golden once said, "Women are foolish to think that they are powerless compared to men because they actually are more superior than men." And he went ahead to say that give a woman groceries and she'll make you a meal. Give her a home, she'll make you a beautiful home. Give her your heart, she'll give you smiles. But he said, if you give her crap, she will give you ... Because women having the power to multiply. Another story comes to mind about a man named Joseph Stalin. It is recorded that he had about 7 million kills to his name. He was a USSR leader back in the day. He used power to the point whereby he put dread, fear, pain, unnecessary deaths in the hearts of men. You may be wondering why these two illustrations. I will juxtapose now. There is power that can empower positively, but there's also power that can empower negatively. It is in our hands, it is in our minds to choose the right way. Do we want power that has a positive ripple effect that will leave a beautiful legacy behind long after we're gone? Or do we want power that could destroy? It could also self-destruct. And what legacy do you leave behind long after you're gone? I'm here to inspire you because making the choice is in your hands. What are you going to do today? What do you fill your mind with when you're alone? What do you fill your time with to make you improve yourself? What do you surround yourself with? What caliber of people do you surround yourself with? These all matter. These gear towards building you to become who you'll be tomorrow. Until next time, keep winning.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa. Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.
Welcome back again. If you're just joining us, this is the Good Morning Africa show on Housing TV Africa. We stir up an insightful conversation with the topic, could letting kids keep housework actually do them a disservice? We spoke to some children and adults. Enjoy.
I actually do encourage children to be involved in carrying out chores in the house. For me, I start by 8 when they're 8 full chores when they are 8, but from 5 years old, chores are simple as get me a glass of water, remove your shoes from that place, go and wash the cup you use in drinking water. Those are chores. And you wake up from the bed as little as 5 years old, pull your bed sheets. I started with that, and by 8 sometimes I don't even have to prompt because they're used to it already. So they just do 1 or 2 things that saves me the stress of having to do that again. So I do encourage children to. If you as an individual, either as a child or as an adult, start engaging in house chores when you are at home, when you are outside the house. Okay, for example, when they go for camping, you know they are there alone. Sometimes the coordinators are not there to say do this or do that, but because the child has that training from the house, it impacts on the child to be responsible, to be able to carry out 1 or 2 things for him or herself because it has already been imbibed in that child from home. So it helps them in being disciplined. Doing that.
I started by 8. I do it like every day.
What are the house chores you do?
I do washing dishes, washing some of my clothes, and simple errands.
I give my children chores to do, and they've been doing it for probably from age 3. It's just small tasks from time to time, like pick up your toys, dress the bed, do the dishes. Once they are able to start taking their plates to the sink, once they are done with with eating, I tell them to take their dishes out themselves. So the older ones do the dishes from age 8, 7. They can do dishes and then pick up their toys from when they are 3, older. Then remove the sheets from the bed and dress the bed. Once they are able to start doing that, 7, 8, they do I don't have to take out their bed sheets from the bed. I don't have to sort their clothes for washing. I have a washing machine, I wash their clothes, but they have to sort the clothes, get them ready. They know how to sort the clothes, color, turn them inside out, because when they remove them, probably it has turned outside in, so they have to make sure the clothes are ready to go in the machine. They know what to do, when to do it. When they wake up in the morning, my daughter knows before it's time for school, she gets their bottles ready, fills them with water. I don't have to do that for them. So she fills their bottles with water, Once I'm packing lunch, I'm dishing the food, she's packing their lunch boxes. And then when they come back from school, she knows that it's her duty to take out the trash. So she comes back, she takes out the trash, does little things. It just keeps her responsible because she already knows what she's supposed to be doing at whatever time of the day. So for me, doing chores, it's about helping them learn responsibilities, learning how to take care of themselves on their own.
My name is Emerald. I sometimes sweep. Sometimes I usually clean my TV.
I wash plates, I sweep the house, I rest the bed, I boil water whenever the parents are not around. I make food for them, my siblings, and I also take out the trash. It helps me to carry out various activities and it teaches me social values. I started doing house chores around like age 3, 4, yeah. Then how often? Then I didn't do it much since I was like really small and there was a limit to how much I could do. However, having grown up as a Nigerian child, you get to do house chores all the time. They feel like we should know how to do things ourselves so that we can handle it when they're not there. Doing house chores, in terms of responsibility, at least having been told to keep things neat all the time has made me to be more arranged. And then, other than that, house chores just make you know how to do things generally, so you're more independent when you're outside and you don't have to ask for help for every single thing.
Yes, I do house chores. I started around age 7 and yeah, I do it very often. I love doing some house chores.
Yes, I do. It's part of the growth. And at the age of 2, so for her to play toy, so she'll promise me that she'll do the cleanup. So from there, she learns how to clean. In so many ways, it makes them strong. It makes them grow into a young girl, in fact, a wife material. And it makes her ready to do anything at any time. So you don't need to tell her, hey, you, this, that. She knows what to do at any time. So that makes even the society will accept any girl that is clean, any girl that is ready to work, ready to do everything. You don't need to tell her, it's time to sleep, it's time to wash, it's time to do this. So they know the right time to do anything at any time. When you over-pamper them, when you don't discipline them, when you overlook certain things, and in fact, it's part of growth, especially for a girl child. Even though boys not do it, but for a girl child to be, yes, qualified and a good one, she needs to help in the house.
Thanks for staying with us. Taking us further in this conversation is an expert, Mrs. Etoaje Sandra Odofin. She's an experienced early childhood educationist and currently the Director of Studies at Eastern Cradle and Grid. You're highly welcome, Mrs. Odofin. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you
on the
for
Good Morning
having
Africa
me.
show. So now, an 85-year ongoing study conducted by Harvard Research has found a strong connection between doing chores and later professional success and happiness. Do you agree with that? As someone who is an educationist and also have, spent a whole lot of time with children, would you agree with that particular statement?
Thank you for the question. I would like to build a little background. I don't know what they base their conclusion on, but it's absolutely right. Absolutely right. I teach children ranging from 1.5 to 10 years old. And when we want to teach them to start writing, we want them to be able to develop something called the pincer grip, right? So for us to achieve that, we engage them in activities that have to do with sorting of tiny objects, such that they get to use their pincer grip to pick those objects. So that's where we start from. And there is nobody who loves engaging in chores like children under 5 years old. So they are happy doing that. And we find that with that, they're able to grip their crayons and color well. That's just putting it basically. So you see, a child using their hands to do something that should be work translates to the child being able to hold their crayons and color as they should. And it also develops the ability to stay at a task and not give up on it. So let's go further. When they get to primary school, in our school, maybe we'll talk about it later. When they get to primary school, you find out that those kids who are actually engaged at home tend to do better in class. They pay attention, they do their home fun, they are eager to just be part of everything going on in class. And such children, when they are punished, you barely see them running home to go report to their parents and paint the teacher in bad light. Because most times they're able to just, put it in right compartments. Okay, I did this, consequence has to follow. So it all adds up. And you see, for those who do not do anything at home other than come back from school, be given a bath, and then be asked to go and sleep, they have this entitlement mentality, and they bring it to class. They give up easily on their class phone. They are the ones who always tell themselves that something is hard. They call me Mrs. E. They're like, Mrs. E, this is just hard. We just can't do this, no matter how you try. And their parents tend to back them up. So yes, I agree with Harvard. By the way, it's Harvard, so they can't get it wrong. They can't get it wrong. But trust me, it's absolutely correct. I'm on the field, so I don't have any scientific backing, but I'm telling you from experience that this is something we have done, and indeed, a child who does house chores is significantly positively different from the one who doesn't.
Okay, so before I let Obong, through his question to you, I would want us to come back home, being that we stated a research by Harvard. Now let's bring it back home as Nigerians, as Africans. I know that if not now that the world has changed due to civilization and what some parents watch on movies, that they don't even want to stress their children at all in doing chores at home, which is not a good one, and it really will not guide the child to have a good sense of responsibility when they later grow up and face the society. So at what age do you think it's appropriate for children to start engaging in house chores?
I think as early as when the child starts to walk around. Most children start working at about 1, some of them 1.5. The reason being that eye-hand coordination will be developed faster when that child actually engages. Something as small as bring your ball, bring your toy, it's a chore, and the child is happy doing it. Okay, don't do that, don't mess up this place, you just finish eating, bring your plate. The child is going to stagger because he's still a child trying to gain balance. So there's no such time as, when should we introduce these children? The earlier the better. So when you engage them, I'm Christian, so you permit me. The Bible says you train up a child in the way it should grow, and when it grows, it won't depart from it. So when you engage a child as early as when the child is 1, to know that, okay, I am doing something, you have to be part of it, so that we can achieve our common goal faster. It works better for them. So when that child is 2, and you're telling the child, don't throw your socks on the parlor floor when you come back from school, take it to your room, the child is happy to do it. Like I said earlier, children who are under 5, they love to do chores because it gives them a sense of being in charge. After all, they are being fed, they are being carried to school even when they don't want to go. But you see with chores, even though they make a mess, you don't scold them. It's like, well done, could you do that again? And they're doing it. So it becomes a part of them. By the time they are 10, which is when I think, yes, I can now say, you are responsible for this, and I know you have the ability to process it and do it. By the time they are 10, it should be a constant part of their life. But there's no such time as, it's too early for the child to start. That's my opinion, and that's because I've worked with children, this age.
Okay, so the question is, do you as a school administrator stress the importance of the school environment being able to teach parents, assist parents, enlighten parents on teaching the children how to do chores at home?
I'll answer that with a yes. And I do not agree with don't tell me how to raise my child, because I would always say that education shouldn't start and end in the classroom. It goes to the house, and from the house to the school, and that's how we can get the best results. So in our school we have something called the 5 golden rules, which we make the children recite on assembly ground every day. So one of the golden rules, which is the most important, is that you must do a chore, at least 1 chore every day. So you see every day, and there's reward for it. We have star of the week and all of that. So you see every day children are eager to come report on assembly ground. Nobody wants to be left out. Nobody wants to say, oh, I didn't do this. You want to be called out on assembly ground. So they're always eager to come. I washed my socks, I washed the plates and all of that. In addition to that, we have our homemakers club where children engage in knitting, cooking and all of that. So when we cook particularly, we give the children part of what they have prepared in school to take home and finish off with their parents. There's this medical doctor, very busy lady. You know, she particularly stood out because on this occasion when we had given this project, go home, finish this, I think it was puff puff. We had given them the batter, finish it with mom. You know, she made a whole video. She made a whole video. They were walking, the boy will pass the batter to the mom will put it in the oil, and she was explaining to them why they shouldn't go too close to the cooker. And you know, a bond was formed. And yes, so that's it. We do that in school. We are one of those schools who will do that.
You know, I really like the part you talked about the cooking, because in school I used to be around home economics classes.
So you're one of those students that used to be foodie.
Not foodie, but I just like being around them because you know, something good.
Something good happens there.
Yeah. So I'd like to ask the next question. Is there something like too much trust for the child? Because as a child, I told Memuna when we started up the discussion that I didn't like chores. I didn't like chores. I saw it as something that's so stressful. So can it be too much?
Yeah, I will start from the part that you didn't like chores. No child likes chores.
Exactly, I told you
That is why doing chores builds responsibility. It teaches you that it doesn't have to be pleasant. I have to do it. You delay gratification, you put yourself to it and you get it done. So that said, I think there might be a situation of too much chores. You know, there are a couple of parents whom the moment their child can do these things, particularly the teenagers, I have a teenage daughter and a teenage son, there is the tendency to want to leave it all. Do this, wash plates, take the pot. So the child feels overwhelmed. Even with us adults, there is need for balance. So I would say, maybe saying too much chores, parents, children might watch this and get it the wrong way. So this is what I think. There should be a balance and a structure, right? Let me know that on Wednesdays, I do the dishes, right? And on Friday, I take the clothes out from the washing machine. Or if I'm doing hand wash, I wash and I put them out on the line. Do not give me a Wednesday clothes to wash, plates to wash. My younger wants to bathe. I have homework to do. You want me to be the A student. I need to be able to do that. Even though I'm a child, I'm still a human being. You know, like they say, mental health. Don't come and stress my mental health. Just allow me have a balance. So I think, yes, in life, there's a tendency to abuse things. Yes, so there could be too much chores. I don't know if you can relate. I don't know if anyone that can relate.
I can really relate, and that's the reason why I'm laughing. Because I remember while growing up, I was the one doing, you know, the dishes, which I hated.
Nobody
so
likes
much, you know. And then I'm going to do it Monday, Tuesday, and then one day I woke up, I was pissed. I said, today I'm not doing any dishes. My mom was like, you have to do it. I'm like, are you sure you are my mother? She was stunned, and that was the day she had to, you know, draw a timetable. So now this brings me to my next question. Now we're done with you being, you know, a school administrator and someone that is always around children. Yeah, we're going to look at still come back home as a parent, and I'm going to do this with both your male child and your female child. Of course, we're Africans, and in some African homes they will tell you the men are not, they don't really necessarily need to do much. They are boys. You are a woman, you are supposed to be in the kitchen.
I wish it was I wish it was for me.
I wish you really suffer there.
I wish
you should meet my son. He says I'm stressing him out.
Oh my God. You know, but then in most African homes you hear that a lot. I'm from the north, okay, and you know, some northern homes will say he's a male child. You know, you should, you know, reduce the chores you're giving him, most especially when he has to do in the kitchen. Do you think that is a right approach? Because at the moment now, if you hear people talking about how their husbands act at home, they're like, oh, his mother did not raise him well. He cannot even wash plate. He cannot even boil water. He cannot even you understand? Yeah. So do you think, you know, splitting chores at home between the male child and the female child is necessary, or you just feel men it's equal, they are all children, so they should, you know, go ahead and do everything together?
You've answered my question. They are all children.
Yeah.
They are all children. In fact, because like you said, we live in Nigeria and a lot is on the shoulder of men. You know, he has people that are billing him as he is now. They are billing him. If he was spoiled at home, not giving any responsibility, he will buckle. He will be one of those men who always call their mommy. This girl I just met is stressing me. Mommy, do you know my wife didn't do this and that? So for me, I think I even give my male child more to do. because there's a lot of responsibility on their shoulders. So yes, when you said, that's what I do to my son, so and he's like, Mommy, once I start saying my word this on you, so you want to butter me up so you can use me. Yes, I think it should be split equally. No one should be made to do more than the other. Whatever one does, the other should do. What if you have all male children? Are you now going to leave them and do everything yourself? So I don't know that people still do that. That was how we grew up. Our brothers would be having fun while we go and do the chores. But I don't want to believe that people still do that. But if they do, it's not right. They are children. They are going to face the same circumstances in life. That is why these days it looks like women are more responsible. Women are more tenacious. Women are able to just be resilient. It's because of how we were raised. We're made to do chores even when we didn't want to and all of that. But the men, they felt like, oh, that's the way it should be. In my generation, that's the way it should be. Just let them, if a boy is a boy. So they go into the outside world. The women are getting jobs. The men are not. And they say, oh, don't mind her. Let me use what these Gen Z people do. They're not sure. But the truth is, she's been taught from early on in life to go for what she wants, to not give up, to just work it out. Talking about washing plates, it can be frustrating.
Oh my God! I think.
And your siblings, because they know they are not the ones washing, they mess it up.
Everything up.
And then you have to wash and then start cleaning out inside the sink. So imagine a woman who has done that every day of her life, and you still have to cook. And when you don't come first or second in class, they will still stress you. So yes. So I think that it is wrong to say, oh, they are boys, just let them be. You'll be destroying them. Let every child be involved in doing chores, equal chores. If the boy is to lift the jerrycan of water, the girl should do it too. Good. If the girl is to cook, the boy should do it too.
Good. Thank you so much, Mrs. Odofin, for giving us that, a very good understanding of how parents can be able to split, the house jobs between their children. So we still have a lot to talk about, but let's go on a short break and we'll be back shortly.
Get credible and authentic housing news at your fingertips by downloading the Housing TV mobile app. You can also join the African International Housing Show live from across the globe through the Housing TV mobile app. The mobile app features live streaming and trending housing news. You can locate the AIHS venue via the app, network with AIHS seasoned speakers, and live chat with exhibitors. You can also order house or building materials at AIHS via this app. Download the Housing TV mobile app now from the App Store and Google Play Store. And don't forget to click on the notification button. Available for both iOS and Android users. Housing TV is also on Star Times, channel 149 decoder.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Good Morning Africa show on Housing TV Africa. The conversation still continues, and Mrs. Odofin is still with us in the studio. Okay, my next question. I'm going to take from you, or rather, I'm going to steal from your comment. You made a statement before we went on a break while you were asking, I guess, the question concerning, how much can a house chores be for children. So do you think that when you overwhelm the child with so much house chores, it affects their grades, it affects their social life, because they feel they don't have enough time? Most parents actually use stuff like that to pin the child at home and not to want to go play outside. Do you think it's a good thing, being that bringing up a child has a lot of formation, then they have to play? Of course, it's still part of development and what have you.
I don't think, like I said, chores can be too much, yes, or affecting their social life, unless of course it prevents them from being able to go interact with other children. But I want to believe that these children are in school and they spend most of their time in school. So I don't think it might affect their social life. I would think that it might just kind of breed some underlying anger issues, Like my mom is always telling me to do this thing. She's my mom. I can't just punch her and I can't say no. So I suppress it. So that child learns from early on in life to suppress their emotions. And I think if you ask the psychologist, that will have a bit of impact on them, you know, developing psychologically and emotionally. Then as for their social interactions, unless of course it becomes a thing of, because I don't want my child to go out and play with other people, you are putting these shows, that child is going to become angry at you, and the child might actually start developing some vices right under your nose, just trying to get away from these chores. You know, there have been instances even in my home when they think that the plate is too much. This my son takes from the plate and keeps inside the refrigerator. Dirty dishes, he does the one in the sink, because he feels like these plates are too much today. But you know, he's a child. He used to do it earlier when he was, before he turned a teenager. So most times I open the fridge and I'm like, why would you put some, you know, that's just mild. Imagine he grew up with that to this stage. Now that he's a teenager, who knows what tricks he might come up with. So balance is the key. Balance is the key. We shouldn't drive our children to wrath. We shouldn't drive them to, you know, we shouldn't just drive them out of what we are trying to prevent and protect them from.
Luckily for you, talking about experiences, lucky for you, your son had to, you know, put some in the fridge. I had to throw some out.
You see?
I now know why you need to buy spoons will always be missing.
Spoons? Thank you. Yeah. Oh, now I know. I'm going to check the bill for my phone.
Exactly, yes.
Oh, no.
So now
okay,
yes.
So you see, there's something in what you're saying, that packing them with so much chores, we actually have a bit of it. But as for grades, I think there's always time to read. If you want to read, there's always time to read. So let's not say because you gave the child too much work, that's why. On the contrary, that's even going to make the child do better, in my opinion.
Okay, so I don't want to take you on the, you know, you talked about the women being multidimensional and all of that. Let's just allow it slightly.
Why are you rolling away?
It's different now. It's different now. Don't worry. It's different now.
For equity's sake, because we want to look at the facts are clear. You know,
what are the facts?
The richest 10 people in the world who are there in Nigeria.
Let's go there.
So, but I want to ask you about technology, the place of technology and doing chores. Because it seems gradually technology is taking over the chores that we used to do. We have dishwashers now. I remember growing up, you use your hands. The other day I went home and we have the water in the house. But as a child, we used to trek miles to go fetch water. These young guys don't do that. And they were even complaining, but we are doing I said, the same house, I grew up here. How are you doing? We used to, you know, trek miles to fetch water. There was nothing like dishwashers. But these technologies keep coming and makes life easier. So do you think that with technology, robotics, and all of these inventions, we're looking to the future, the place of chores may be reducing as we move into the future?
Yes. And okay, yes, it's a little bit of twist. Even with technology, you need to learn how to work it. You need to learn how to work it. Some of them actually require you to hold them physically to make them work, right? And I would say, yes, there is the tendency for technology to just take the place of chores that we're doing. So I would just advise parents that, like in my house, we have all the modern facilities to do this and that, but I didn't buy dishwasher. Truth is, my kids.
Vacuum cleaner.
I don't have a vacuum cleaner. I have a brush. Truth is, my kids will grow up and be able to afford those things. But let me teach them that there is another way. The reason being that, you see, these are motor skills. Your coordination and all of that comes from you using your hands. And using your hands, while you're using it, you are using your brain. So no matter what technology has come, no matter how good and efficient it is, I would appeal to parents that please, take it away sometimes and let the children do the house chores, because like he has said in his question, technology has a tendency to just take out that bit where children are, you know, engaged in doing stuff. You know, technology in Nigeria takes the form of house help or model.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Your children don't do anything, but this 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 10-year-old in your house is made to do a lot of things. You are training that child and not training yours. So if, meanwhile, some parents are beginning to realize that and they try to balance it out. So in the same way with technology, just put it aside. You know, my children are like, buy dishwasher. I said, but you are the dishwasher I bought some years ago.
I remember when my mom...
The moment I saw it online, it became my thing. You are the dishwasher I got years ago, so it's time for you to...
I remember growing up, my mom got a washing machine for her. because she spelled it out. She said, this washing machine is for me. When I ask you to do any chores with washing, you have to use your hands. And then I remember then my elder brother got a scissors and then had to cut them. He said, it's useless now. You
we're not using it. He cut it in anger.
So why must we use our hands? You know, and you're right. Even with having all of those modern technologies, your children should be made to
use their hands.
Use their hands. Vacuum cleaner, you can still have a brush. Hey, go pick the brush and use the brush. Why are you running?
So to your question, yes, technology has the tendency to just downplay the fact that children need to be involved in chores. In fact, the school where my children are at, boarding schools, one of the JSU schools, the reason we went for that is because of the fact that the children are made to do chores. They wash their hands, they wash their clothes with their hands. So my daughter, who just went to JS1, came back and said, Mommy, it was shocking. She said, Mommy, I want to wash with my hands. Do you know what it is for somebody to approach her and say, that's after they've been at home for like 3 days. She was missing it. Because of course JS1, she has misplaced most of her uniforms. So now she has to wash every day. According to her, she has to wash her white shirt every day and wear it because she misplaced her uniforms. And the way they operate there, there's strict discipline. Like, we're not going to give you another shirt. Look for the one you misplaced. Nobody stole it. So she has to wash. Well, I don't know. Now she has to wash. So it's like she was missing the whole process. And she said, Mommy, I was overjoyed. Like, oh yeah, not that the cloth is clean or was clean, but
at least
the fact that it just occurred to her that there's been no light for a couple of days. Let me just wash, and she did. So please, even if there's technology, let's just be careful, because at the end of the day, we're trying to build children who can face the challenges of life. For chores are the things that you never get paid for. In fact, you get insulted. You're washing plates and your mother says, just look at, see oil. Since I bought this plate, and she tells you, she tells you your life story. Nigerian moms can do the most.
Oh my God.
She tells you your life story, and you are just there with this face. Like, and you can't cry, you can't smile,
you can't say anything.
Do you know you are building resilience, you are building ability to just, because in this world we have a lot of people who don't appreciate the things you do. There are a lot of things that you do and the reward doesn't come immediately. So with stuff like this, you are able to you build this strength of character. You can stay. You just believe that, okay, they're not paying me for this one. They're not paying me for this, because you will never be paid for doing chores.
Yeah, never.
You will never be paid, but you do it anyway. So you build this sense of service, selfless service, without you knowing it. It's just there. So you grow up and they're saying, oh, there's this man, he needs transplant for blah 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 blah. There are some kids who will say, it's scam. But there is that you who long ago has learned this service, no matter what, I'm not going to get paid, I'm not getting anything from it, but I just want to do this. Where do you think that came from? It's from somewhere in your mom's kitchen where you were being made to do things that you were never appreciated for. I've never seen a mother come to say, thank you for washing the plate. Unless you are 5 years old. When you are 5 years old,
they want to pet you, and but once you get to, let's say, 10.
Even some of them before 10, like 9, you're already taking the heat, So yes. Please, not as much as possible, even if there's technology, let's just try to balance it. I know we're in a modern world and things have changed, but there should be that day of the week where you say, okay, hey, you know what? Let's just sweep this house. Let's just sweep it. Let's just mop. Let's just do something with our hands. Not because we don't have an alternative, but because we just want to do it. You know what they say about delayed gratification. I think all of that comes to play, yes, when you do stuff like that.
So how can parents be able to handle children that don't even want to try to want to do, because there are lots of children, when you give them any chores to do at home, they run away.
It's true.
Yes, they do. They leave the house.
It's true.
They run away. They find one thing, and then the next thing you're like, where is this boy? He's out of the house because you gave him something to do, and he's not even really.
Or they throw an impossible tantrum.
Exactly, and then the next thing he hears, Mommy, my stomach is paining me. I have headache. And so, how can parents be able to handle children like this? Do you bring out the force in you as a parent, like you must do this because of course you're your parent, or do you look for a subtle way in just speaking with this child as to, you need to do this, is your responsibility to do this at home?
Okay, thank you. Depending on the child's temperament, that will determine how you go about it. But like I always say to parents in my school, and I'm also a junior church teacher. So I would always say parenting it's continuous, it's progressive. And that's what I say to my husband sometimes when our children come up with some difficult stuff. Like parenting, you don't stop. He didn't do it today. The truth is there's no one size fits all. I can't say, oh, this is how you should do because you know your child better. But just know that parenting is a continuous process. That is why it is expressed in present continuous tense. It's parenting, it's ongoing. You try one method, it doesn't work, try the next. You know your child better, but one thing you must not do is say this one does not like to do anything and you leave the child. You would have killed that child. But as for telling you how to go about it specifically with your child, you know, I can't say, but there are a lot of things they say online. But I am one very practical person. There is no one shoe fits all. Find what works for your child. If it is reward, even if it is that punishment, there are some children that it is that cane that will work. We are Nigerians, in case this goes elsewhere. We flog.
No,
we're
Nigerians.
But we spank when it's necessary. So there are children who might require you to use the rod. There are those that you might need to just coerce into doing it. There are those that you might have to use reward. I hear parents are paying their children to do chores these days. Although I'm not a fan of it, but if it works, fine. If it works for you, yes. But there's no one size. But one thing you must not do is stop. Parenting is continuous. Never give up on a child and say this one does not like to do chores. There's no such thing as that. They are children.
Okay, so on behalf of the children, I'll just be because I was once there. Yes, I was once the victim of all of this. You know, two women by my side. You can imagine because the chores come more from the women.
And for the women
my
too.
father was the most loving. He doesn't bother us with chores. So I just want to say that there should be a balance. Yeah, children should be considered. Like I'm asking to you now as a school administrator, because I understand you deal with these children daily. Children have their own matters. They have
issues.
What they have issues. Or they want to play with their mates.
They have issues. Some of them, for example, at Einstein's Cradle and Grace, we have children that B is looking like D. It's an issue.
It's enough issue for
them. We're laughing now. There's a big English word for it. Dyslexia, they say. So for some of them, it's a big issue. But it's big. And every time you tell the child, B has a belly, D wears a diaper. The child goes home again and comes back. So yes, you are right. Children have issues, big issues. So we should balance it. Yes, on behalf of and those that were abused in their childhood. Yes, there should be a balance. And in everything we do, we should just know that we are caretakers. God has given us His children to raise. Please don't raise them badly. Chores never kill. They build discipline. Harvard is so right. I would like to read that report in full if it can be sent to me. But they're absolutely right on this. Absolutely right. So please, chores will never kill your child. On the contrary, it's going to make your child different. At Einstein's Cradle and Grace, the children who excel are the ones who are actually involved. We know that they are involved in their homes. And you see, they are the ones we put in leadership position in school.
Of course.
They are able to just coordinate. I'm not saying they are the ones coming first, but you know that they know it. They can engage. They don't fail. And then whenever we have social events and all of that, they are the ones that we put in front because they have been trained.
And they have courage.
Yes. So please, chores, make chores a part of their life. It's very, very important.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Odofin, for coming by today on the program. We know you're really busy and you're eager to leave. I know they keep calling you. But thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us and, you know, for talking with us on this particular topic. From my own end, it is very, very important and essential that parents engage their children in, you know, doing a whole lot of things at home. For me, overwhelming is out of it. Give them just to do. I am not advocating on behalf of, you know, Obong. I am saying give them watchers. It helps them to have, you know, a good sense of responsibility and to be better people when they later, you know, face the society. Obong, do you have anything?
Yeah, I would just like to say, as we go back to the school, please let's get to maybe discuss, have a panel where we could have representative of children. We discuss with them, children, do you need chores? And what amount of chores can we give you? Thank you so much. We've had an insightful conversation and we really do appreciate appreciate all the work.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much.
And thank you to Umbog's parents. They did very well.
Exactly, they did
very well.
We did not have
Yes.
to all our parents. Thank you
Yes.
so much for raising us, and for upcoming parents, please try to do the needful by bringing up your children in a better way and giving them more house chores to do. So on this note, we draw the curtains on the Good Morning Africa show. Thank you so much for watching this episode. You can watch this episode and subsequent episodes by subscribing to our YouTube channel, Housing TV Africa. You can also follow us on all of our social media platforms at Housing TV Africa. And of course, the Housing TV Africa mobile app is live on Google Play Store and Apple Store. Please kindly go there, download, get all the latest information about the housing sector and everything you need to know. I am Yumina Bagudu.
And I am Ubom Busar.
Have a great day.